There are a number of different methods you can use to get an object handle in MA3, such as datapool dot whatever the location is and the number. So in this case, to get sequence 1, datapool function dot sequences 1 dot name equals new name to change the name. I could also use ObjectList, which would do ObjectList sequence 1 in quotes, and then you have to put this number 1 after it to indicate that it's the first object matching this string to be used. Dot name equals new name. That's slightly more text, and you might think, okay, well, why wouldn't I just go with this version? There are some benefits to using ObjectList that I have found, and I'm going to talk about that. So, like down here, let's say we want to get sequence 1 Q25. Now with sequence 1, there's no real benefit over one or the other of these, but with this version, this is actually not referring to Q25. This is referring to the 25th Q. So in order to get 25, assuming that all of my Qs are whole numbers, I could do 27 because the first Q is the off Q and the second Q is Q0. So if all of my Qs are labeled with whole numbers and I know that, then Q number 27 would be Q25 in this case. However, you can't always know that that's the case if you use decimals in your Q numbers, which I do. So this is why I prefer to use ObjectList, because you just type out sequence 1Q25, and that's the same syntax used to address it as when you're in the console. So this is actually going to refer to the Q numbered 25. The other benefit to using ObjectList is for scenarios where you don't know what the object pool you're trying to reference is called, for instance. Because, like with presets, I don't actually know what this name is that would go right here. I think I've known it in the past, but I don't remember. And so I would have to go do a bunch of digging to figure out what it refers to them as. Whereas with ObjectList, I could literally type preset 22.1 or preset quotes gobo.8 or whatever the case might be. So this is way easier in my opinion.